Athlete Kings, also known as Decathlete in America, was released on the Sega Saturn in 1996, and I think is one of the best arcade machine ports you can find. Now, this game is very simple to play. It's mainly just like button prompts. There's only like 2 buttons that you really use, and it's just a series of athletic events, a bit like sort of a precursor to the Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games series. It's pretty fun, and honestly, I love this game. I think this is one of the stupidest camp games I've ever played in my life. There is just so much silliness in this game. You can really tell that the developers had a lot of fun animating the models and putting all these like ridiculous sound effects and creating the characters as well. Even though they don't really say a lot or do a lot, they have a lot of personality to them, and as you can see here, I'm really not that good at the game. It's actually surprisingly hard to go back to and play now, but I seem to remember it being a lot easier when I was younger. Now, each of the events are split up in like a mini game thing, and before each one you have to do this little tutorial, which really do not help in context of trying to explain how to actually sort of do the event. Like, it shows you these like tutorials like you're seeing now, but it does not always translate that well when you actually get to doing the event. And I think that would be one of my only downsides to this game, is that sometimes it's just not that clear what it wants you to do, and like the specific sort of button inputs that you have to put in to complete each event and get a high score. Now, when I was younger, I used to play this game a lot with my brother, and I was really good at the shot put events, and it was always just nice to see that I'm still pretty good at the shot put in this game. Like, that sort of muscle memory came back in an instant, the nostalgia was there, and I just knew what I was doing, how to get the higher scores. Nowadays, this game's pretty easy to get hold of. I feel like everyone had this on the Sega Saturn, so there's plenty of copies. On eBay, it goes from anywhere between £15 and £30 in the UK, and I'm not quite sure about the American version of the game itself. But I would definitely recommend adding this to your Sega Saturn collection. It's pretty fun, and it's a pretty unique game. Now, there was a sequel to this game that came out in 1997 called Winter Heart, which is the same premise, exactly the same sort of game, but it's based at the sort of Winter Olympics. I've been looking for that game for a while, and I'll definitely pick it up as soon as I can see it, or as soon as I find it, and make a video on that as well. Now, a much rarer version of this game is in 2004. It was re-released for the PlayStation 2, but only had a Japanese release. Now, that game can be quite hard to come across, and I've seen it some places on the internet for like £30–40, but they don't look like legitimate copies. So bear that in mind when trying to buy this game, is that a lot of people would just try and sell you a cheap copy than the actual original Saturn game. So yeah, that's Athlete Kings on the Sega Saturn. Let me know if you have any memories of this game, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.